to our third episode of the Father and Son Show. I'm your host, Jacob Crane. We have my father, Pastor Jack A. Crane, a.k.a. Pops, with us. Hey, Dad, I know the environment's changing out there, man. Football season is almost here. I'll be down there for opening night. What's the buzz? What's the buzz down there about the Cowboys? You know, me and you big-time Cowboy fans. What's the buzz?
Well, we're trying to figure out if Ezekiel Elliott will be either suspended for a couple of games, or will he be ready to go against New York. We're hoping he'll be ready to go because we need to start out strong.
That's right, and Jerry got in the Hall of Fame. He said he's pretty sure Zeke is not gonna get suspended. He didn't do nothing wrong, all that blah, blah, blah. 6 games. You know it's coming, man. You know it's coming. And I see a young Dez Bryant, when Dez got in all that trouble. I think it's a maturity thing. I went through it. You went through it. We all go through it. But they wearing a star, Dallas Cowboys, so they go through it 100 times what me and you went through it. With the media spotlight and everybody looking at them. For Zeke to be, I think he's maybe 22, 23 years old. I can imagine what me and you was doing at that age in our bloodline. So I know I was doing. I know what you was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine what a 23-year-old millionaire is doing and what's going through his head.
Yes.
So what's the game plan? How we going to keep Zeke out of trouble?
Well, Jerry we got a good system with the Cowboys, to have those older guys to sort of be a mentor for him. Kind of going to do the same thing they done for Dez. His first year or two, he got to know because he's a Dallas Cowboy that the cameras are on him 24/7 from the time he sleep to the time he wake up. When he's running the ball, when he's not running the ball. The cameras are on him. When he's on the sideline, if his head is down, the cameras are on him. So, but I think he'll be okay. He's a kid who, just like any other kid, who've done well, and he have the father support at home. So we're hoping and praying that Zeke can carry the load for us. And if he cannot do it, we got a game plan. We got a game plan. I'm not going to tell you the game plan because somebody may try to steal our signals, but we got a game plan. If Zeke is not able to make it, we got a bench. We're ready to go.
Yeah, we are loaded at running back. We got, I'm up here in Redskin country. We got the old running back, Alfred Morris, who I think is still a beast.
Oh, yeah.
We got old man McFadden.
Yeah.
He's an old version. He just come in and make sure you take care of the ball, run a couple of times. He's that's Jerry's boy from Arkansas, so he ain't nowhere.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Those guys got favor with Jerry, man. And if they can tote the load, Jerry gonna pay them and let them play.
That's right, man. This week for me has been pretty cool. I got a couple of speaking gigs on the table. Hopefully I can lock those in to go back to North Carolina. Some of my old colleagues are now in administration positions. So definitely reached out to them to get to go impact their students as well. We don't start school till after Labor Day. Starting with a new principal. Actually, our principal came from, I think she went to school for a little bit at UTA. So we got some familiarity there. So just looking to start the school year strong, but finish out 2017. I'm already preparing my mind and everything for 2018. And I think that's what you have to do if you want to win. You got to stay ahead of the game. The preparation is key. I know you guys over at True Vine Missionary Baptist Church in Fort Worth are already preparing for end of the year things, end of the year events, and heading into 2018 with some momentum. So talk about some of the things that you do personally to prepare yourself in this third quarter of the year, almost into the fourth quarter, and talk about how you preparing your staff mentally. Hey guys, we're not shutting down. This is where we pick up. It's fourth quarter. This is where you win games. What are you doing to prepare your staff and yourself?
One of the things I avoid doing is changing staff in the middle of the flight. As you know, right now we're in the month of August, and we have a few more months to go before the year is over. So I'm looking at new staff, and staff development is huge with me. And I tell any staff member, I tell of our church, be it volunteer or paid staff, the three things I tell them to remain, and that's positive, productive, and progressive. Those three things: positive, productive, and progressive in whatever you're doing, and to get out front and to do what you do, love what you do, and blossom right where you're planted. And if you can do that and stay in your lane, and then you'll see great results just by being positive, productive, and progressive in whatever the assignment that you've been given to fulfill the task. So that's what we're going to try to finish strong. This 50th year, we're celebrating 50 years. Dr. Ricky Rush is coming to speak at an end of the year banquet, and then my pastor, the White McKissick, will close it out that Sunday. So we are excited about it, and we're gonna tote the load on to the end of the year, and preferably we can finish strong.
Hey man, I know y'all gonna finish strong. You mentioned a couple of your mentors, Pastor Ricky Rush, Pastor McKissick. I'm curious to hear more about Ricky Rush and what he's doing, and how did he become your mentor, and how that relationship has gone to new heights.
Oh, he's great, man. Ricky Rush pastors church, some 20,000 plus in his church, and his concern is always of building smaller churches like my church, because he enjoyed giving. He's a giver by nature, and to see him do what he's done in that part of Dallas, he's just done a phenomenal job, and for him to take the time with a younger pastor, smaller churches like our church, to just pour into us and meet us right where we are. So his big thing is fishing partners. The Bible say, God called us to be fishers of men, and all of us are fishing of men, and he just, his thing is just, hey, can I be your fishing partner and show you how to be productive and positive and progressive in fishing for men. So it's a great guy, super great guy.
And that's good to hear. We talked about mentorship all the time, and I'm glad you yourself have found a mentor like Pastor Ricky Rush. But let's talk about just, upgrading our lifestyles and upgrading every area of our life. And one thing I pride myself on, and I use sports as an example, is getting better. Whether I'm getting better as a husband, getting better as a son, getting better as a father. I just thrive on self-improvement, and the things that I'm studying, I'm researching, is that millionaires and a lot of successful people, I use millionaires as a monetary, a monetary way of saying successful, but successful people in general, whether your idea of success or not, I don't know. But what I'm finding out is they are constantly not settling and constantly trying to improve every area of their life, whether it's health, spiritual development, financial education, personal development. And that's what I mean by upgrading, taking it to the next level. Pops, how do you, I guess I'm going to put this in a way, how do you continue to get better every day? How high is that on your priority list? Transparent with us. Do you ever find yourself wanting to take a break? Wanting to take a rest? How does that look for somebody like you who is constantly on the go, phone constantly ringing, do you ever want to say, hey, I'm going to take a couple of days off and, and not get better today, just stay where I'm at?
No, with me, there's always even while I'm lying in bed before I close my eyes, there's always how can I become a better me a type culture. I personally take that and personally try to become better spiritually, try to become better in my culture, my associations, my affiliations. How does that look for me? How does that work for me? One, I try to surround myself with people who are greater than me, who've done much better than me, who have more money than me. So I try to purposely and positively, surround myself with those type of people. I'm always wanting to get better and be better in everything that I do. And it always starts with my spiritual foundation. And because without that, none of this I can't succeed in anything. But to have a solid spiritual foundation, and I think from your foundation, you begin to build those relationships and begin to have a solid culture and make sure that the climate is conducive to helping you get to where you need to be. And after the culture and the climate, and then the chemistry. When that chemistry is a fit to moving forward, as you well know, I enjoy doing business. I enjoy starting business. I love to dream. And any way that I could increase my finances by starting businesses and even helping others create businesses. That's my whole that's my whole foundation.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up because, me growing up, we both grew up in the church, and some people seem as that, that having money is a bad thing. And, sometimes church folk look at you differently when you say your goals, your goal is to be a millionaire and you want to leave a legacy for your family by making sure money's not a problem. Some church folk look down on people like me and you. And I don't understand. And I don't understand that part. And I think sometimes that, we did a conference call the other day talking about the millennials, and I barely made the cut for millennials. I looked it up. It was 1985 on, and I was born in 86. But millennials, we are very driven. And the fact that, we change our mind a lot, but we're very driven we're, like you said earlier, we're dreamers, visionaries, want to change the world, want to do big things. And go back to my original statement, some church folk just frown upon that. Why is that?
I think it has a lot to do with where we come from. Much of the old traditional church look at pastors as one who should be the ones who struggle, drive the old car, keep them sort of at bay but as you well know, in this day and age, there are pastors who are more than just pastors. I consider myself more than just a pastor of the True Vine Baptist Church. I'm the pastor in the community. I'm the pastor at JPS Hospital. I'm the pastor at my high school, the elementary school, wherever I go. And it doesn't stop there. I'm a businessman. I'm in the community. I'm on the streets, and the work that I do just do not stop in the pulpit, because God have called me to be more than just a preacher, but I'm a man of God. I'm one who are concerned about family. I'm definitely concerned about the African American, the Black neighborhood, the community. I want to see our community grow. I want to see the churches grow. I want to see things happen in the Black community rather than we're being on the 6 o'clock news with negative things. I want to be on the 6 o'clock news with positive things.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. Like I said, I think I mentioned I don't even watch the news. There's so much negative things going on, and to me, the news, they try to use negative stories as entertainment to others, and people in our minds are so fascinated with negative things. It's ridiculous to what goes on the media and what they portray. And, I think we need to get away from that. I think there needs to be a positive news station. Like, all the news needs to be positive.
24-hour positive news.
24-hour positive news. We need to plant that seed in somebody's mind and let them come up with that station.
That's another business right there. See, we just started another business right there.
It started. Somebody, whoever want to start that, we'll be your host.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll be your host. Positive news only.
Yes.
PNO. Positive news only.
Yes.
So let's talk about, man, when I left the nest out of that field. We got a lot of parents out here. Kids about to go to college for the first time. Got a good friend out here in Richmond. Graduated from Hampton. Before me, his daughter's about to go to college. And, he made a post on Facebook how he was packing up, tearing up. I don't think that happened with me. My experience was, I never visited Hampton University. Never even been in the state of Virginia. You and Mom dropped me off, and that was it. I didn't see y'all until I graduated again. I think you came up when I moved into my apartment and visit, but that was it. So what was that freedom like again? Let's talk a little bit about the marriage. Let's talk about marriage and speak to us, Dad, about I guess we could say getting the groove back, and your Mom's relationship with me being gone. Y'all supported me, financially as much as y'all could when I left, but it was just you and Mom at the house, and y'all had that time to continue to grow and work on your relationship. You guys have been going strong, I think, for 35 years now, 36 years. So speak on that and to our listeners who may have some kids getting ready to prepare them to leave for college.
It's 34 years we've been going strong, and ironically, after you went off to college, it just opened the door because children and kids are our life. As you well know, we had to you got a god sister, so we had to make sure that she was doing right, and she was in our lives, and it was like raising another child all over again, with her, and thank God we got her graduated, and she's doing okay now, but it doesn't stop. It really doesn't, because you find yourself pouring into more children, but we never let it neglect, our relationship with one another. Certainly not our relationship with the Lord. So it's great. It was great. We miss you, man, because every time I would get in trouble, I'd use you as an alibi. So my alibi was gone. So, but we did this thing long distance, and you kept me out of trouble, and I kept you out of trouble, and here we are 10 years later, man, and God is doing an amazing thing. You have your family now, and which means my family have increased, and so your mom and I remain best of friends, and that's only because she's been able to tolerate me, and with all my kind of off methods, she's been able to just kind of keep me balanced and put up with me, but it's been a joy. It's called, the Bible called it the good fight of faith. It's been a good fight of faith with your mom, and I wouldn't have it no other way. And it's been great. We just keep it real. That's what we try to. We try to keep laughter. We're as honest as we know how with one another. We don't have anything to hide from each other. That we're transparent toward each other, because we have confidence in ourselves and where we are, and and we're not insecure. We're not jealous of one another. We help one another. And I think that's what keeps it strong.
Yeah, man. You know, for me, you said 10 years, man. I've been at your house for 14 years, man. 14 years.
Man, that's crazy.
Been at your house for 14 years, man. You ain't. Yeah. I've been trying to move back. Your mama still get a bigger house, and I still can't move back. You know, and I don't understand that. Why I just can't come relax for a couple of years. I never got the chance to come home and relax for 2 years, take a break from life. You know, that's the new thing now, kids. I talk to parents. Oh, yeah, they gonna come after they graduate. We're gonna give them a couple of years. Y'all didn't give me a couple of years.
No, we don't play that.
And so, for me, man, I'm going on 5 years next year, and you know, ups and downs. Me and Danielle did our long distance thing before she moved to North Carolina, and like you said, you know, we just keep our friendship, best friends. She support all my dreams, all my businesses, and you know, like any other relationship, you know, we talk it out, hug it out, fight it out, and then pray it out. And the next day we go out and build this thing together. And so I think that's where we at now, going into our 5th year next year, and you know, learning from her parents. Her parents been married 40 plus years. You guys going on almost 35 years, and so we look at y'all as examples. And like I said last year, man, the bar has been set so high for us on both sides that we have to do everything possible to keep that going. And that's setting a good example for our son as well. Dad, let's jump into you balancing, like I guess I say keeping your street credibility. You know, your True is right where you grew up. ODY High School, not too far. Dunbar High School right there. Poly right there. All my uncles, your brothers, they went to those schools. You know, I think maybe a couple of went Trimble Tech. But how did you keep your street credit, man? You know, I hear stories all the time from all my uncles, how y'all used to run the streets and everything. How is your name still respected in the streets?
Well, number one, my dad and mom, you know, I was raised by the old folk, and there was always a protection. You know, whatever you do, protect your name. Don't come in here. Don't shame the name. And that's what we went by, particularly on the streets. Whether or not we got into mischief, or whether we just hung out to play football and hung out to make sure that we were doing positive things. We always found ourselves doing positive things. And one thing about us, particularly all my siblings, we started working at an early age. Every last one of us, we started working at an early age, and it paid off now, you know, because several of them have retired now, and another one's getting ready to retire. Since I'm a pastor, it don't look like I'm gonna ever retire.
Nah, can't retire. Retire, man.
Yeah, man. You know, and so, but it was the culture that my parents set with us to be hard workers, take care of your family, and they stopped short of the entrepreneurship thing, because that's all they knew, was to take care of their family. Now, somewhere I picked up this entrepreneurship that I want to own my own business. I want to be the one to write the check. I want to be the one to make as much money as I'm capable of making, and the sky's the limit. I want to be not just a millionaire, but I want to leave wealth for my grandson and for his children.
Yeah, man. So, you know, that's a big staple in Dreamchaser Academy. We always preach entrepreneurship, and definitely specifically for the Black community. Even though we reach out to everybody, Black, white, Chinese, Jewish, it don't matter. We're preaching entrepreneurship, but we see it more, it's not prevalent in the Black community as it should be, because of, I don't know why is the reason, because we possess such the same skills and talents as anybody else. And maybe it's a security thing. Maybe it's a cultural thing. Like you said, we just grew up, work 40 years and retire, and save. And, what me and you are learning is you save to invest. You don't just save just to save, but you save to invest. So you can have multiple streams of income coming in. A lot of people relying on 401ks, and as me and the market's about to crash real soon. It just does that. It's part of the game. And so some people are going to, be sad because they're about to retire, and then the market's going to crash, and they're going to go pull their money out, and it's not what they expected. And so that's why it's very important to create, like you said, a business where, it's up to you. You have control over how much money you make. And it just, the bottom line is the harder you work, the more money you make, the more people you reach, the more money you make, the more you impact the world, and the more you impact people's lives, the more money you can make. And so that's where my mindset is. That's where your mindset is. That's where Dreamchaser Academy mindset is. Motivate, inspire, empower people to do what they love and love what they do. And we do that every day. And me and you do that by setting the example. Let's jump into your career choice. I'll start with myself. I didn't know I was going to be a teacher. It came about because I definitely wanted to know. I knew I wanted to be around sports. I knew I wanted to coach. And, when I looking at my curriculum, and I was going to go into sports management, but I think somebody told me to, get a teacher certification to make sure, they're always looking for a good teacher, so I would have a job coming out. And I think that's why I chose the teaching track. And I love the schedule. Love having my weekends off. Love having the summer. I just love doing what I do. And that's being in teachers giving me the platform to impact lives. It's my students, my colleagues, go around, speak to different schools. So that's why I chose this career as my base. And it's led to many other opportunities, many other doors, networking with many different people. What was your first career choice? And, what kind of modifications did you make on the way? And were you ever I know you were in a position where you had to do some things temporarily to get by. Talk about that. Talk about those odd jobs you had to do just to get by. And as we know now, we have to understand that sometimes we have to do things temporarily in order for the big picture to come into play. So talk about that.
I can remember years of working on the railroad and then being laid off, and I had to go to my second love, and that was obviously restaurant. And even while I was in the restaurant business, I started a janitorial business on the side, cleaning restrooms, cleaning toilets, cleaning kitchens, cleaning rooms, and sometimes you got to have more than one thing you do in your arsenal to be a producer. So I've always been a producer and one who could go in and think of things to do to increase my income and increase my knowledge of what I really need to do. If I'm going to be a man of financial stability, then I have to work hard at it. I have to be creative. I got to be willing to do what no one else is willing to do. I really have to put out, man. I gotta put out. I can't sit around and wait on people to call me. So I was very aggressive in the means of, finding. I love cooking, love the restaurant business, TGI Fridays. Gosh, I've worked for all types of pizza places, Godfather's, Pizza Hut, obviously Mama's Pizza Place, local food chain here in Texas, and that's where I cut my teeth in the restaurant business at, man. And it was just a great thing, dealing with people, showing hospitality, making sure that the people have a great meal and time. And when you serve people, you want to serve it as if you're serving your mother and father. And that was the whole premise of making sure that when you work in the restaurant industry, that people were happy.
You talk about serving, man. Speak on that serving attitude and how that helps us in our careers and in the business world. And speak about that serving attitude.
Yeah, the serving attitude is that you don't, and most people want to be a celebrity, but I tend to differ because the serving attitude will bring you celebrity status. The celebrity status won't bring you the serving attitude. So serving people wherever you are, it can be as little as opening the door for somebody who's walking into the Boston market and on Father's Day weekend and you open the door and telling your elder Happy Father's Day, and he reply back to you, thank you, and I'm still waiting on my children to call me and tell me Happy Father's Day. Just serving others, or helping somebody take food to their cars and purchasing on holidays, purchasing maybe about $50 to $60 worth of Starbucks cards, and those who are waiting in line knock on the window and tell them Starbucks on you. I mean, just giving and serving, it really opened the door for you to be productive and for you to really get along with people. And because in this business, you're going to need people. You can't succeed by yourself.
Yeah, man. I remember me, your mom, we started doing that. And I think we need to go ahead and bring it back. We did. I hit up Albertsons, a grocery store, bought groceries for a few people. I think you did coffee. I think mom did coffee as well somewhere else. And that was pretty cool, man, to be a blessing to other families. And I remember I first started making my little piece of change. I was able to send some money home to my grandparents, my mom and papa, and buy them some lunch. And, it just, they didn't need it, but to them, it meant the world. And to me, I felt like I was a big man, able to send them home some money, so they can put gas in the car or get something to eat. And that serving attitude is big. I got a couple of friends who just thrive on serving others. And, I believe that when you're able to have that attitude that you really don't have to need for anything. In your time of need, God will make a way for you. Somebody will come through at the end for you because you have served with an attitude. And most people have to realize is that attitude is not expecting something back.
Yes.
I think that's the piece that some people miss is, they don't understand planting that seed and just waiting for its natural courses to take place, whether rain comes and it speeds along the process of the growing process, or or a drought might come or anything like that. It's the same thing as serving. You planting that seed and you just keep serving.
Yes.
Just keep serving. And then over time, things are going to start happening around you and happening to maybe some of the people that you're serving. You may be a part of something. But I think that I'm writing a part in my book about being patient. Your time is coming. And you have to believe that your time is coming. And I think patience is not only a mindset, an emotion, but it's a skill. Like, you have to really practice patience. And I know I practice it, especially being a coach. For me, being a hothead coach on the sideline, to practicing patience, even in the classroom and on the sideline. And I've seen that carry over in my life when some situations may happen where I'm able to control my emotions, and the situation comes out better than what I expected because I practiced the skill of patience, and now patience is a part of my life. It's a part of my character. People consider me a patient person. Speak on that, Dad. What name some situations where you've seen situations go array because somebody is not have the patience. Being in the restaurant business, I know you've seen a lot of that. Being in church, people not being patient. Give us some real life examples.
Oh, I think one of the things is, and the reason why a lot of people are not patient, they don't wait long enough to trust the process. Mm. And you can miss out on I can speak personally for myself, but there's been times when I didn't trust the process, or I only thought I knew to do. And what happens is when you're not there, when it's for you, you're out of position. And when you're out of position, you don't get the promotion. So I teach now, listen, pray and trust the process. And while you're waiting and being patient, God's working on your behalf, because what God have for you is for you. Do not sit there and be impatient like I was in a lot of situations. And then I missed out on what the favor that I had for me, because there it was right there. And had I been in the right position, I would have received the promotion. But because I wasn't patient, I was out of position. Therefore, it forfeit the promotion. So what I say to people all the time, and what I teach all the time, is to be patient, trust the process, and stay blossom where you are. And that's the key. Wherever you're placed, in whatever position you are, blossom right there. Be the best you can. Come early, stay late. Make sure that you're doing the best you can. Make sure that the place is better than what it was before you came. And even when you leave after being promoted, that you left an imprint in that situation. So yeah, I honestly believe, man, patience is huge. It's a virtue, the Bible says. So it's really huge, and I think that a lot of us, including myself, miss out because we're not patient enough. We don't wait on what God really have for us. Good things happen to those who wait.
Mm. And I look for opportunities to practice patience, honestly, guys. I do it all the time, whether we at a restaurant or online. I practice, I control my thoughts, and I practice that skill of patience. And, I think I'm going to go with trust the process in 2018. That's going to be our motto. This year was I'm lit, I'm living in truth. Year before that, it was dab, dream, ask, and believe, and you shall receive. So we was going to dab on them. So we got dab on them. I'm lit. And now we're going to trust the process. Those are our staples, our legwork of what we stand on in Dreamchaser Academy. We're looking to create some workbooks for you guys here pretty soon. I know I'm going to continue to write and get this book out, The 31 Principles of Success, and just give you key words and key disciplines that I've learned so far that has put me in a position where, like Pop said earlier, the sky's the limit. So there's really no ceiling to what we are about to do, what Pastor Crane is about to do in Fort Worth, what I'm about to do here on the East Coast in Virginia and North Carolina. There's no ceiling. The vision is so big. The ultimate goal is to open up a school for Dreamchaser Academy and for it to serve so many young people and let them expound upon their visions, their creativity, state-of-the-art schools. It's going to be almost like the Cowboys Stadium open up. That's how I review it when they see the school opening up. So that's our vision. That's where we're headed. Impact is live, changing our mindsets, and then being a living example. So we definitely appreciate you guys listening to the show. Guys, if you felt that this show impacted your life, we ask that you share it on social media. with other friends and family. Leave your comments, email us. You can find more information on the website. Leave us a review on the website, a testimonial at dreamchaseracademy.net. We'll be back next week. Pops, Pastor Crane, leave us with trust the process.
Trust the process. It does require you to have the faith enough, first of all, to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, then you won't get very far. Obviously, Christ is the foundation, but you got to believe in yourself to do what you need to do to make it happen. Don't throw in the towel. It's far too soon to quit. Give it another try. Put some time in it. Don't do the same thing if you want different results. Be willing to do something different by trusting the process.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Dreamchaser Academy, Jacob Crane, Pastor Jack A. Crane, the father and son. Show 3, we're finished. Hey, guys, have a blessed week. And like Zig Ziglar says, we see you at the top.
God bless you.